God, our pool's flooded.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be going over some of the things I wish I knew when I started out on Shopify. So some beginner tips. This will help you even if you are an intermediate. Just some things to look out for, things you need to know when you're actually jumping in, because it is a lot more difficult than you think. Everyone thinks it's kind of get rich quick. We're going to go in a few tips, a few pointers for people that are starting out. We're dropping a lot more value for you guys. I'm going to be posting a lot more to the channel, but stay tuned, subscribe, and let's jump right in. Okay, we are back, and first things first, sorry about the video quality, sorry about the audio quality. I'm using a GoPro for now. Obviously, if you guys start to subscribe and you like the content, start commenting and stuff, I'm just gonna I'll buy a new camera or something better, at least a mic, and get everything rolling. But first things first, the 3 tips I have for Shopify beginners. So the absolute first thing would be that you have a lot to learn. Shopify is not easy. You know, you go on Instagram, you follow some big people, you follow some of the top e-commerce guys, and you go, okay, this must be really easy. Everyone could do it. Which it's not that everyone can't do it. It's that not everyone will have the same success. Everyone can, make a lot of money and do well with Shopify and with online business, but not everyone will. And it kind of comes down to what you're going to do to kind of combat that. What are you going to do? How are you going to research things? How are you going to look into things? How are you going to do something different from other people? And that's the biggest step. So I would say you have a lot to learn. It's not easy. Yes, you may be able to throw a store overnight, or throw one up overnight, but there are so many crucial things you're probably missing that if you just want to get started as fast as possible, that's not necessarily what you should do. If you really want to do everything right and you want to make a lot of money in this business, you need to do your research. You need to go through, set a plan, set your launch date to be the end of your Shopify trial, get everything set up, get your app set up, get your store set up, find out some products, and get ready to test and actually kind of struggle. You have to be ready to struggle in this business. And a lot of the biggest things with people dropping out or people not doing well is because they quit, they give up. I mean, in the beginning, obviously it was really tough. I tested a ton of stuff. I went through so many products, went through all kinds of, boundaries and actual challenges, and that just made me do my stores better. That made me go after certain things, and that kind of motivated me. Whereas some people, they'll quit. They may have the product that is going to be a winner, and they just don't know what they're doing with it. So it's really important to be persistent. Know that you have a lot to learn, but all in all, just keep on going. The more you put into it, the more you're actually going to get out of it. So tip number 2: research before you execute. This is crucial because a lot of people will, unless you have a ton of money below. If you come in and someone's giving you money, or maybe it's one of your family members, or you just have some money laying around and you want to blow through money, be my guest. But I would say take the educated guess. Go through, do your research, go through on some videos, take a course, learn how to do something before you actually waste time and money on it. A lot of people jump in and they think Shopify is so easy, because technically it is. They built an interface that allows you to build a website, upload products, and run ads. Very simple. It's very, very simple. If you understand how Instagram works and Facebook works, this kind of business is not difficult to. It's kind of tailored to the younger generation, to where if you know how to work a computer, you can run one of these businesses. And a lot of people don't do the research beforehand, and that's very, very important. So obviously, if you have money to blow and you want to test some certain things and go through and waste money, by all means, go for it. But I would still say, especially if you had a bigger budget, you need to go through and you need to be careful with every dollar. When I started, I had maybe my first ever store, a couple $100. I mean, it wasn't really like I didn't really do success with that store. I actually sold a lot of products in person, but start small, especially when you don't have a lot of money and you don't want to be taking this big of a risk. But go in, do your research, and make sure you research everything you can before you actually execute something. So if you're going to run a Facebook ad, or if you want to run something on Instagram or do an influencer, do your research. Don't just do it, because I've been screwed by that. I'm sure there are plenty of you out there that have had, this is the typical thing with influencers: a lot of traffic, no sales. It happens with Facebook ads too, because people don't know what they're doing. But at that point, you've already spent the money, which you could have put into not necessarily just money, and no time as well. So time you could have put into learning some more about it. But as far as the money aspect, that's money you could have put into a course that is going to teach you something and teach you to know what you're doing. Even if it's not the best out there, it's still gaining knowledge that you don't have. And when you're jumping in without that knowledge, you're simply wasting money, and it's not good. moving on to one of the last tips. Obviously, I want to say some stuff at the end, but as for tip number 3, that would be don't take in more than you can handle. Don't try to be, the one-all jack of all trades when you can get people to do things that can benefit you. You can't be an expert in everything. I thought that in the beginning. I thought, I'm starting my business, so I'm going to handle this. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to make sure that this goes right. I'm going to make sure that I design the logo and I do all this, and that can really not only wear you out, but can make you do things poorly. You don't want to try and specialize in everything because you're not going to be good at everything. Not everyone can be a master at Facebook ads, a master at web design, master coder, and master advertiser, or whatever it may be. You can't be good at every single thing you do. So it's very important to kind of outsource. Get a partner, get a business partner, find someone that will work with you towards the same goal for you. Obviously, you're splitting the pie, but you have to think about splitting the work. In the beginning, I was doing everything. I refused to outsource. I didn't want. I actually got offered the opportunity to dropship when I was doing a lot of branded stuff back in the day when I was shipping stuff myself, and I got offered that, and I didn't want to do it. I wanted to handle the inventory. I was like, there's no way anyone is going to want to do that. I'm going to get into that in a later video because it's actually kind of a funny story, and it was one of my first, not 6-figure, but 5-figure, brand. So, but it's very important, outsource. So if you can hire someone to do something for you, it's going to make your life a lot easier. And even if you don't have the money to do that, look for someone that is in the similar situation as you or has the same mindset, has the same goal, and pitch it to them. Go, hey, I'd love for you to work with me on this project. I'm going to give you this percentage. What do you think? There are a lot of people that are like-minded like you that may just want to follow you, or they may have the same goals as you, and a lot of people will take the action and the initiative to actually do something, and that can be very vital. So whether you're actually hiring someone on Upwork to kind of manage your product fulfillment, or this really helps as you kind of grow and get bigger, but it's very important to think of in the beginning. It's a lot easier to tackle something when there's more people involved. Yes, I'm not saying hire 10 of your friends that aren't going to do dick. You want to hire people that are actually going to benefit you and benefit your goals and benefit your business. But it is important to actually kind of split up the workload. So don't try and do everything. Don't try and be a jack of all trades. So before we end this video, there's a couple things I want to talk about, especially for people that are already kind of getting into Facebook ads, or maybe it's people that are just starting. But one of the biggest things that I cannot emphasize enough is test. Every product is not going to be a winner. Every product is not going to be the one that you can scale to 6 figures or 7 figures or beyond. Every product is going to have some kind of different touch in the market. It might be new, it might be saturated. So you really got to think about these things when you actually go after something, especially with dropshipping. I'm going to be talking a lot more about branding, which is a path that I think a lot of people should take because you kind of see that longevity with it. I'm going to talk about branding in a later video, but test. Not everything's going to be a winner. You need to go through, you need to look at these certain things when you're actually testing your ad sets. See if the product is going to do well, and don't ride the back of a dead horse. I don't know if that's the right expression, but don't keep going after something. If your ads are doing horrible and got a sale and then it got a surprise sale or something, you're like, oh, I think maybe you can still do good. Stop wasting your money. You set a cutoff point in your head and make sure you kill that product before you go beyond that. You don't want to blow all of your money on. Let's say you had 3 products, right? You want to blow all your money on the first 2 when the third one could have been your winner. I'm not saying to go super light with testing, but make sure that the product actually has some kind of results and you see something out of the product before you continue on with it. Now, the second thing would be the little things. It's the little things that count, literally, because everything on your site should be perfect. Everything, every button, every text, every description, every menu, everything should work. Go through your site and try and be the person that would click everything they're not supposed to. Don't just go to where the eyes go. Don't focus on where your product is and everything. You need to look at everything. Make sure your pages, make sure there's no typos, make sure it's professional. Make sure that every button works, so that if someone were on your site and accidentally click something off on the side, it actually is bringing them to where they are supposed to go. You don't want dead links. A lot of people will leave typos and weird Chinese text in their descriptions. I'm going to be going over that. I think it's going to be the next video, is actually creating creative descriptions for your products that actually convert. But make sure everything is right. Don't go through and just leave certain things because you want to have a lot of products in your store and you're like, oh, I don't have time, I want to launch. Make sure it's done before launch. Make sure that everything is correct, especially when you're spending money to bring someone to your store. So make sure it's professional. Make sure it actually reflects a good image that somebody is actually going to like what they see, and make sure everything just looks good. You know, you don't want these dead links. You don't want things that people can't click. You don't want your site to feel like it isn't professional, or it isn't somewhere where someone feels comfortable purchasing something from. So that's a really big thing. And the absolute last thing, guys, is persistence. A lot of people give up. You know, a lot of people will try 1 or 2 or 3 stores, try a bunch of products, and never see any success. And you just got to think you're doing something wrong. You know, if everyone around you is succeeding and you're the only one that's not, it's something you're doing. You know, it's, you have the same platform, you have the same tools, you have the exact same things that I use to make money every single day on Shopify at your disposal. So use them wisely, go through, research Facebook ads, stay on my channel. I'm gonna be dropping a lot of value for you guys because I want to help everyone out. Shoot me a DM if you need some help, or you want me to look at your store or something. I try to respond to every single person that actually DMs me. But reach out, try and research, you know, go through, make sure you're getting the biggest, you know, spectrum of knowledge you can. But just keep at it. You know, a lot of people kind of fail in the beginning and they give up, and that's not what you should do. I mean, I failed several times. I've had several dead brands. I've had lawsuits people threaten me with, and I had to shut down my businesses. Literally, I had a Shopify store, my first one ever, to hit over $10,000. I had to shut down in 30 seconds. That's going to be a later video, but anything can happen, you know. So it's not just you. It may not be what you're doing. It may be just you don't have enough knowledge, but go out and seek that. You know, make sure that you can get it. Keep on actually trying to make your Shopify store a success, and don't stop until it is. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos like this. I'm going to be trying to drop some actual value for you guys. I'm going to be going through on a computer, going through ad sets, actually teaching how to advertise. I'm going to do full store creation, everything like that. So subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up if you actually like this video, and I'll see you guys later.